to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
It's Ebro in the Morning. You got the beautiful Laura Stiles. You got Rosenberg. We got Stephen A. Smith on the program this morning.
What's up, y'all?
It is HBCU week, and Stephen A. was just complimenting my luxurious beard. I appreciate
Mr.
you,
Mr. Abraham Lincoln. You got everybody trying to do that. Look, my man Kendrick Perkins on TV in the morning. LeBron. Yep. You know, it ain't no longer fear the beard. It's Ebro. Ebro got everybody trying to look like Abraham Lincoln. Now, I ain't mad at you though.
Now, Stephen, we've known each other for some years. You are telling me that I started the beard trend. This on record.
Right. Yeah, that's right. It was before James Harden. Remember, when he was coming off the bench, he wasn't rocking that beard like that. When he was coming out of Arizona State, he wasn't rocking that beard like that. I saw you with that beard for a long time.
Talk to him, baby.
All right, All right, now Ebro has his promo. Steve, let me ask you, because I know we have limited time with you. HBCU, it feels HBCU conversation feels especially big this year. The Deion Sanders conversation and what he's capable of doing. How excited are you about what the future looks like potentially for HBCUs?
Well, I think it's looking good. I mean, obviously, you know what, HBCUs need all the profile it can get. You know, I mean, you need a light shined on that because we've got a lot of folks from disenfranchised communities, a lot of folks from the African-American communities. Sometimes you're not looking at higher education and thinking that there's hope for you because you're about to struggle. You're on your grind. You're trying to make it day to day. Sometimes you don't look that further ahead. But I know what HBCUs did for me. It's a family affair. The fact of the matter is that when you're black and you got to scratch and claw your way to the top far too often, to be quite honest with you. And it's something that we've lamented for a long time, but that struggle is real. And when you go to an HBCU that have folks that share your culture, that share your identity, that understand what the mindset is, the trials and tribulations that you have to endure, they're there for you. They're there to uplift you. You don't feel like you're alone on an island. So it's a big, big deal. And I think that's one of the reasons I'm so excited for primetime Deion Sanders, who, by the way, is going to be on First Take this week because, you know, he just signed on to be the head coach of Jackson State. I've known him for a long time. That's my brother. He's been dying to be a head coach. He wanted the job at Florida State, his alma mater, where he starred at. But they obviously went in a different direction because he never had any head coaching experience. But this is going to be it for him. So I think about that. I'm thinking about HBCU Week. By the way, go to hbcuweek.org. We've got about 35 schools registered. Before it was like 1,200 people that had pre-registered. Now that number's over 3,500. We raised about $4 million in scholarships last year in just a couple of hours. And we expect that number to be exceeded and eclipsed this go round. And we've got HBCU schools like Alabama State, Norfolk State, North Carolina A&T. Just the list goes on and on and on. So it's a really, really big deal. And I'm really proud to be the ambassador for HBCU Week. And of course, I'm proud of my man Primetime Deion Sanders for being an official member of an HBCU now.
Now, Stephen A., on that, with Deion going there, but also highly recruited, top recruited prospects for the NBA and for big colleges. I think it was 5 of them chose to play basketball at HBCUs, and there's been some other students that were highly recruited that chose HBCUs instead. Do you see that trend continuing and getting even larger?
Well, my direct answer would be I hope so. I hope so, because obviously if you got big time ballers that are going to Howard University, if they go to Winston-Salem State, if they go to A&T, various others, it's going to bring a spotlight to them. And as a result, the HBCU is going to get a light shined upon it. And the beauty of that is this. When you mention, for example, if you mention Howard or you mention Hampton or Winston-Salem, my alma mater, et cetera, when you mention schools like that, you might mention a player, but you might mention a particular school as well. Well, ultimately, you always identify them with an HBCU. And as a result, you start thinking about the multitude of HBCU schools out there who don't get any shine. And so anytime you've got these guys, these young lions that are out there and thinking about being progressive in their thinking in terms of, okay, yes, we can protest. Yes, we can march. Yes, we can raise holy hell about the kind of things that are going on in our society. But when we show a light at the end of the tunnel, where we show where we can do certain things to bring attention to stuff that benefits not just our community, but society as a whole, then obviously you're going to provoke others to buy in. Because let's face reality. I always tell people, I'm not interested in black appeal. I'm interested in mass appeal, meaning I want it all. I want black, white, Latino, Native American, Asian American. I don't give a damn who it is. You understand what I'm saying? Because the fact is that what you want comes from everybody. Everybody has a piece of the action. So any kind of contribution they're willing to give to you, it just elevates your profile and it makes you that much more significant. And these young minds that are going to HBCUs, they obviously have it in their conscience. We need to contribute to our community in such a way that shows, here's where we come from. This is what we bring to the table, and you should be taking notice of that. And if these young dudes are willing to do that, certainly it's going to provoke others, not just folks like myself, but folks like you, folks on Madison Avenue, folks in the ad sales world and beyond, saying, let's pay attention to this because there's money to be made here too. And that's the kind of thinking that we should all have.
You, Stephen, you took a lot of heat when you made the statement about the Steve Nash hiring. And in terms of
white privilege,
in terms of that being white privilege, is that still how you feel? And how did you feel about the reaction you got?
Hell yeah. And I don't give a damn about the reaction I got. I never gave a damn before. I don't give a damn now. And I'm not going to give a damn a month from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, whatever. Steve Nash is a great guy. He's a basketball savant. I think he's going to do a hell of a job in Brooklyn. And my comments were not directed at him nor Sean Marks, the GM that runs the Brooklyn Nets. That's why I called both of them and spoke to both of them directly, because I got a lot of love and respect for both of them. And I think that Steve Nash is going to do a hell of a job. And I think Sean Marks already has done a hell of a job in making Brooklyn relevant. Make no mistake about it. But it ain't about them. I reminded them that I've been on this tip for 25 years. And it's a very, very simple question. The hell, forget Steve Nash. Put Peter Rosenberg in there. You get the Brooklyn Nets job. If you have never coached on any level and you get a job where Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are the faces of your franchise and you inherit an instant title contender with no experience whatsoever, tell me the black man that has got that job in any sport. Take your time. I'll wait. Because it's never happened.
We were just talking about Deion Sanders trying to go at his alma mater and didn't get the job because of experience.
And so it's important to dissect this difference. Derek Fisher, Doc Rivers, Mark Jackson, plethora of other black coaches have gotten, and Jason Kidd, they've gotten jobs without head coaching experience. That wasn't my argument. It was the quality of job that I was talking about. If Steve Nash had got the job in Chicago instead of Billy Donovan, I don't care about that. They ain't winning. They stink, and that's the kind of job black dudes usually get. And you got to build something. There's no problem with that. My point was, everybody knows that when Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are on the floor with these Brooklyn Nets, they're an instant title contender, no matter who's coaching. And the coach that you have is a guy that has never coached on any level in his career. That is white privilege, because that is something that would never happen and has never happened for a black man. I said it. I said it with my chest. I didn't stutter. Steven, I meant every damn word, and I mean it now.
Now, Stephen, though, what's the truth and what detail do you have? Because I've heard mixed reports on it, that this is what Kyrie and KD wanted. That's
true. That's absolutely true. Okay. I'm not going to share the specifics of my conversation with KD. That's my man, and we're good. But we obviously had a difference in opinion on this matter, and it is what it is. But I definitely did speak to him, and I can tell you for a fact I spoke to numerous members of the Brooklyn Nets, and they absolutely both were all in on this hire. Sean Marks didn't just make this hire without consulting them. They both signed off on it. And my response was simple. And I said this publicly. I'm not divulging anything private here because I said this publicly. You couldn't have had a brother in for an interview. We couldn't have highlighted what brothers got interviewed for the job so they could get some shine, so they could be in the pipeline. That way, even if they didn't get the job, everybody knows they were a candidate for the job. That way, their name is there. That helps them. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking about along those lines. So, again, we have a difference of opinion, but KD's trying to win championships. Kyrie's trying to win championships. They're both superstars in this league. Got nothing but mad love and respect for them, and I know about their philanthropy. I know where their conscience is and whatever. We just disagree on this decision only because Steve Nash didn't have a resume. But I have no question he's going to do a great job, and I definitely think he's going to shine brightly as a coach in this league. I'm just saying he didn't have a resume. And last time I checked, resumes matter with us. Why shouldn't it matter with white folks?
And on that note, Stephen, I felt really weird about the fact that in spite of the injuries and in spite of the decreased performance over the last couple of years, to me, it seems very weird that Cam Newton is the guy who had to resort to going hat in hand and play for almost nothing in New England. Am I wrong for feeling that there's still a different standard for black quarterbacks. I know he was injured. I understand that. But when you look at the list of who got contracts this offseason, and you think about what Cam Newton's playing for, there's something about it that makes me feel weird.
Yeah, that's true. And you can make that argument because of the manner in which he was treated. You just can't use today's NFL and the contracts guys receive to make that argument. When you consider that the top 3 highest paid dudes in football are all black quarterbacks, that's just not an argument to be made at this particular moment in time. And Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson and those boys. I mean, they deserve it. Make no mistake about it. But that's not the argument to make. The argument to make is in reverse, what you just pointed out. With 9 years, a former league MVP, a quarterback that's taken you to the Super Bowl, okay, that's been the face of a franchise. Would he have to go through that in order to get a job? Well, here's the flip side to it. The Carolina Panthers are to blame because the Carolina Panthers waited until the last minute to let him go. The market was bare at that particular moment in time because most people had signed their quarterbacks once Cam Newton was free to go elsewhere. And on top of it all, when the Panthers franchise tried to market who were the best players in its franchise's history, Cam Newton wasn't even in their multiple choice. Now, you know something's wrong with that picture.
Wow.
You know something's wrong with that picture. They didn't even have him as a possible selection in terms of putting a poll out there as to who was their best player in franchise history. You know there's something to that. And that's where your argument comes in, Pete.
Wow.
Steven, we know you got to go on TV, but thank you, man, as always.
HBCU Week. What is it? HBCU Week?
HBCUweek.org.
There it is, man. Go support the HBCUs. They've been supporting our communities forever. Do your work out there. Stephen A., thank you for your time, brother.
Appreciate y'all, man. Have me on anytime, man. I'm always here. Y'all be good.
Steven.
Peace.
All right.
Peace.